Hey MTV, welcome to my crypt. Today, we'll be looking at what is probably my favorite metal niche ever, which means we're going to Finland! Personally speaking, I love Finland. That's okay, Darnell. Nobody's perfect. So what does that make me? A Suomi-file? Finnabu? Let's not make that happen. Anyway, I don't mean to fetishize Finland, but they make it so damn hard. If Finns stopped being this sexy, I wouldn't have this problem. My point is, they consistently put out some good f***ing music, and I don't know how they do it, but they do. What I'm getting from this is that,
I think I know what you are all trying to say. I think we have to go to Finland.
Wait, they prefer light roast coffee. No thanks, I'd rather fucking die. Anyways, I just adore Finnish gothic metal. It's like comfort food to my ears, and the aesthetic of it is just dripping with drama. It ticks every box for me. And also, everyone looks like this. Am I wrong? While some people use gothic metal and gothic rock interchangeably, I'm just gonna be using the term gothic metal for simplicity's sake, and also because I think most of these bands fit into that umbrella, especially if they're heavier. Fun fact, not only does Finland consume the most coffee on a per capita basis, they also consume the most metal music in the world. Maybe because they're chilly and depressed, I don't know. I know Finland is often cited as the happiest country in the world, but I think that's some bullshit. Are you guys okay? This is a safe space, you know. Finland has got to be responsible for at least half of the gothic metal scene. Hell, forget gothic metal, just so much metal comes from Finland, period. Here are some common themes, and here are my observations. First up, romantic and or tragic lyrical content. This genre is rife with corny cliches, but you kinda just have to accept it as part of the charm. Strong melodies, especially guitar melodies. Lots of keyboard is a must for these bands. Very similar instrumentation, which is bound to happen. It's bound to happen if you're in the same genre as another band, obviously. Inevitably, these trends create songs that sound suspiciously like other songs.
Coincidence? I think not!
Whenever it happens, I'm kinda like, oh, I see you. I mean, it's not really shocking that smaller bands will take obvious inspiration from larger and more established bands in the genre. Another big thing is visual design elements, such as filigree and ornament, as well as Victorian iconography, and lots of cursive. Lots and lots of cursive. It is kind of funny to see the champagne typeface just pop up fucking everywhere. You'll also see a lot of romantic gothic imagery such as roses, skulls, angels, demons, vampires, blood, etc. And so many nude women. Not sure how much this matters, but something else I've noticed is so many fucking pic slides.
What's inside? What? It's a box of... A box of... That's ridiculous. You can't put it in a box.
Lastly, last point. Do beautiful androgynous men count? Because it's very consistent. So, now you have some basic information about the Finnish gothic metal scene. I'm not an expert, but hopefully you know a little bit more than you did before. Anyway, enough yapping, let me show you some bands. First up, I've got Reflection, established 1996 in Oulu, Finland. Their debut album released a decade later in 2006. Reflection did a cover of Listen to Your Heart, which made me laugh so hard the first time I heard it. It seems out of character at first, but it makes so much sense. My favorite Reflection songs are probably Army of Broken Hearts, Nonstop Glorious Ride, that's a really good one, and Dancing in the Air. Next up, we've got the 69 Eyes, established 1989 in Helsinki, Finland. They're pretty popular, and for good reason. If you're not talking about typo negative, you might be talking about the 69 Eyes, especially in the European gothic metal scene. They're falling in with the ranks of Paradise Lost, The Gathering, typo, like I just said. And I'll be brutally honest here. At first, I kind of just considered them like a watered down Sisters of Mercy clone, but they definitely grew on me with time. They also have a funny name, so I'm obligated to give them points for that. Next up is Lullacry, established 1998 in Helsinki as well. I also like a certain demo track of theirs. Solid band. I don't listen to them as much as I should, but I have enjoyed what I've heard from them. Next up is Entwine, established 1995 in Lahti, Finland. These guys are quite catchy. I really liked Through the Darkness, and yes, it's spelled like drive-through, because I guess that was cute. Surrender. Surrender is probably my favorite from them, and I really liked it because it has sort of like that Erasmus quality to it. Nothing's Forever is also good. Next up, I've got Charon, established 1992 in... oh fuck.
Raahe.
I'm sorry, I'm a filthy American. My favorites are Worthless, Deep Water, and Rain. I don't know why their section is so small in here. Next up is Poison Black, established 2000 in Oulu, Finland. I gotta say this. I love gothic metal for its unashamed and ambitious naming schemes. Escapestasy? Like escape and ecstasy? That is difficult to say.
Have you ever had a dream
Ecstasy.
that you
Hey, they went for it. My favorites of theirs are probably Illusion, Delusion, and Love Infernal, and also Lay Your Heart to Rest.
Oh no, he's hot!
Also, I was listening back and wondering, wait, why do the vocals on Escapestasy sound so much like Charon? And then I looked back at the credits and at some articles, and apparently Charon's vocalist did the vocals on Escapestasy, while Villa did backing vocals and guitar, so that explains it. I think what I'm learning here is that I'm easily blinded and distracted and confused by any remotely attractive long-haired man. Next up, I've got To Die For.
To Die For.
Established in 1993 in Kouvola, Finland. To Die For is at least top 5 for me in this genre. They're one of my favorites in gothic metal. They love to use blast beats, and I don't see that as much as I wish I could. If you don't like blast beats, I'm not sure if I can trust you.
Tämä on ihan blast beat.
Not.
Dummy.
Please help me. I'm going insane.
My favorites are definitely Loveless, Live in You, Dripping Down Red, and all 3 of those are off of the same album, All Eternity. Next one is Sentenced. 1 second, my mouth is so fucking dry. Okay, established 1989 in Oulu and Muhus, Finland. I probably mispronounced that and I apologize. Some of their song titles really just go for it, and it makes me laugh a bit. Like, excuse me while I kill myself. YouTube won't like that, I don't care. Some of my favorite Sentenced tracks are Drain Me, Neverlasting, Blood and Tears, and You're the One. Sentenced is an interesting case. They started off as Melodeath, but then they later shifted to gothic metal after Ville Lahala replaced Taneli Jarva on vocals. Early and late Sentenced are night and day, and it really shows.
Everybody's so creative.
Everything's connected.
Next up, Eternal Tears of Sorrow, established 1994 in Puhdasjärvi, Finland. I'm kind of cheating because they're not necessarily gothic metal. Some people describe them as gothic metal, and I really like them, so I'm including them. Don't kill me. I got into Eternal Tears of Sorrow because I love their use of keyboards. Something about the keyboards really gives them that sparkling effect. The sounds remind me of later Castlevania soundtracks, like Symphony of the Night, for example. Some of my favorite Eternal Tears tracks include Profession, Heart of Wilderness, The Last One for Life, Black Tears, Dance of December, and I'm sure there's more that I forgot. I like Eternal Tears of Sorrow because they can either lean towards that later sentenced vibe that I was just talking about, or go into harsher Children of Bodom or Northern territory. I like bands with that sort of range. Also, Mika Lamassari of Eternal Tears of Sorrow also composed Impaled Rectum songs from Heavy Trip, which is pretty fucking cool. I really love that movie.
Surun ikkuiset kyynelet.
This next one is For My Pain. For My Pain was established in 1999 in Oulu, Finland. They are actually a supergroup, which is probably the first and last instance of that on this list. They've got members of Eternal Tears of Sorrow, Embrace, Charon, Reflection, Poison Black, and Full Nothing. So yeah, good half of those were already mentioned. Their frontman, Juha Kalmanen, is the frontman of Reflection. I don't like what he's done with his hair though. I'm scared. An angel lost his wings. For a while, For My Pain only had one album release, but at long last, they've released another. Hell yeah, it only took 23 years. Jokes aside though, Hungry for Desire is a great track. You should listen to it if you have the time. Aha, you fell into my trap.
I see you're trapped in my gay and stupid maze again.
Him, the band that made me want to start this fucking video in the first place. I had to get to him eventually. If you didn't think it was gonna be about him, because where have you been? Where have you been? Him were established in 1991 in Helsinki, Finland. They were the catalyst for me getting into a lot more gothic metal in the first place. This was, I want to say 3 years ago. One of the comments on whichever video this is was describing him as typo negative for gay people. If it's gay typo negative, then it must be good. And I was right. Never looked back. I love goth music. I love metal, so it doesn't surprise me much that they marry quite nicely. Maybe this is the bridge to a him video in the future, although I'll warn you in advance that it probably won't be the most scholarly look at them. Personally, I really like Greatest Love Songs Volume 666 from 1997. I'm very bitter that we didn't get another album like this, but technically the demos kind of give you that, but I will save that for the hymn video that I will hopefully make. Lacrimus Profundere, which means to shed tears in Latin, were formed in 1993 in Wajing MC, which is a municipality within the district of Traunstein in the Free State of Bavaria, Germany. It's also classified as a climatic spa or Luftkurort, if that's something you're into. Plan a vacation. I really like Amber Girl and My Release in Pain. They really scratched that itch for me, for that like urgent racing type of gothic metal. You can't go wrong with Lacrimus Profundere. Next up is Seraphine, established 2000 in Berlin, Germany. Seraphine was formed by vocalist Sven Friedrich and guitarist Norman Selbig after the disbandment of their previous band, Dreadful Shadows. My favorites would be No More Doubts, and I Never Want to Be Like You, and No Tears. Their debut album, Cold Sun, which means Cold Sun in German, is sung entirely in German, if that's something you're interested in. I really like German as a language. I wish I could speak it, I wish I could understand it. Oh well. I Will Be There makes me giggle a bit because I could immediately clock the year in which it was released. Don't ask me how I know that, I just know. Nowadays, Sven Friedrich performs with his solo project, Solar Fake, and sometimes Seraphine still perform live, which is nice. Next up, I have Dark Princess, formed in 2004 in Moscow, Russia. Olga's vocals are addictive to listen to, and they just pair amazingly with that guitar. I never get sick of it. My favorite tracks of theirs are probably Stop My Heart and No Pain. No Pain is probably my favorite. Also, they kind of have a bit of a Seraphine situation. They had an album released that was entirely sung in Russian, which is interesting. And next up, I've got Mortal Love. Mortal Love were formed in the year 2000 in Elverum, Norway. I first got into them with Crave Your Love off of All the Beauty from 2002. I'm a bit surprised that it was released in 2002, because you could have told me it was like mid-90s and I'd probably believe you. In my opinion, I Have Lost is probably their best work. It sounds so genuine, so heartfelt, and it has such a full sound. My favorite tracks from Mortal Love are Senses, Hope, and Empathy, in that order. If you love Evanescence, there's a good chance that you'll like Mortal Love. Next up we have Saddles, established 2006 in Athens, Greece. And yes, I saw that. I see you. I know what you are. They started out as a hymn cover band, shocker, but in 2009 they released their debut album titled About Darkness. My favorite Saddles tracks would probably be Criminal of Love, Blood Red, and The Drug, which are all off of Happy Death Day. Highly recommend. The next band that I have is Icon and the Black Roses, established 1999 in Lisbon, Portugal. It's a big one for me, especially for one that isn't from Finland. I actually thought that Icon and the Black Roses were Finnish when I first got into them, since they nail that melodic, rocky, gothy sound so damn well. They do say that imitation is the biggest form of flattery, so they definitely chose the right people to imitate because that album is just banger after banger after banger. Know what you like and run with it, I say. Icon and the Black Roses began as Blue Obsession in 1999. That year they released a 4-track demo titled 4 Winter Songs, and in 2004 they released their self-titled debut. Also, look at the Blue Obsession demo's cover. It's such a 90s relic. Speaking of 90s relic, please forgive the low resolution because this is the only photo that I can find of this thing on the internet. The first 2 Icon albums are both good, although I like their self-titled debut a lot more than their second album, Thorns. And actually, I have this album on CD, and I'm so glad I grabbed it, because this thing is kind of hard to find. It's quite difficult to do in the year 2026. So there it is. I'm glad I was able to find it in all their pasty glory. Look at them. Let's hear it for the boys. And in quite good condition too. Like, I can't see a scratch on this thing. Anyway, blah blah blah, Jay, no one cares. But I do, so shut up. And actually, good news, Icon and the Black Roses released an EP late last year. So it's great to know that they're still making music. My favorite tracks of theirs are Endless, Set Me on Fire, Black Rose, and Sweetest Emptiness of Love, all in that order. Well damn, I'm finally done. I'm done! I hope you found some bands that you like, because this specific shade of gothic metal is kind of an endangered species at this point. Many of the bands I just mentioned are still making music though, and there are still some new projects which are kind of carrying the torch of that early mid-2000s gothic metal sound. We don't talk about 616, but I might. That's a good idea. Matthew, I've seen you on Reddit. I don't need you here. In case you want my curated selection, take my mixtape. I've got disc 1 and disc 2. But yeah, this is something that I finally sat down to do. I've been putting it off. A lot of the decor from my intro is gone because I am preparing for a move, so just ignore that. Hopefully by next time I will be set up again and it won't look like shit. Well, my camera just shit the bed, so good timing. Thank you for sticking around if you're still here. Next video comes when it comes. I don't know. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.